With the recent attack on Putin's house, what's going to happen? Is it to provoke Russia into more decisive action so that they can portray Russia as an aggressor? Well, this all this entire matter of portraying Russia as an aggressor. Russia started a war with Ukraine, special military operation. They don't respect the sovereignty, integrity of Ukraine, etc. I mean, Venezuela. The US did exactly the same thing in Venezuela. They disregarded international law. What the US has done is a blatant violation of international law. You don't attack a sovereign nation. You've got to respect the nation's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Doesn't matter if the US does it. If Russia does it, very bad, very, very bad. No, 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 no. Bad boy. I mean, what sort of double standards is this? Well, if you are the most powerful nation in the world, you can have any kinds of double standards. Doesn't matter. You have earned the right to be hypocritical. So, see, Russia has already been portrayed as an aggressor, right? So what happened is that Mr. Putin was on a phone call with Mr. Trump, okay, from his residence in Novgorod, if I'm not mistaken. And Trump made sure that the phone call lasts a long time. And the American agencies, etc., CIA, etc., they knew that Mr. Putin is in his residence in Novgorod. And they passed on that information to the Ukrainians, who launched a series of drone strikes on Mr. Putin's residence. It was an assassination attempt. Now the Western media and commentators and analysts are saying that where's the proof of this? The Russians are making a false claim to provoke further action. That's what they're claiming. Yeah, it is what it is. So Mr. Modi has tweeted his very great concern about what's happened. Even other countries have tweeted, leaders of other countries have put out similar statements. So look, from my perspective, there's no question that this thing happened. There are videos of hits, drone hits on the Kremlin and other major Russian places where Mr. Putin generally either works or resides. So the Ukrainians, Mr. Zelensky and his team, they tried to assassinate Mr. Putin. What's going to happen now is the question. So Russia has, first of all, given evidence of this to the United States. And they have said that our retaliation, our response will not be diplomatic, it will be military. So it looks like there's going to be, calculated retaliation to what the Ukrainians have done. It is possible they may even go after Mr. Zelensky. It is possible. Okay. I'm not advocating that they should go after Mr. Zelensky, but I'm saying it's possible. Given that Zelensky went after Putin's life, now I suppose all kinds of cards are on the table now. So what happens now? So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and watch. There's going to be retaliation from Moscow, military retaliation. What specific retaliation, we'll have to see. Yeah, but this is a major, grave provocation from Ukraine with the help, apparently, of the United States. Yeah, on Moscow. I mean, attempting an assassination of Mr. Putin. Mr. Putin, is he too trusting of the West? Is he under the belief that the West is gentlemanly? I mean, the Minsk Accords. Mr. Putin actually tried to make the Minsk Accords work. And after Madame Angela Merkel retired, she said this in an interview, that the Minsk Accords were simply a ploy to delay. I mean, to buy time. A ploy to buy time so that we can arm Ukraine. And they were sure, the West, that a war will happen. And they were pushing Russia towards a war. They were crossing red line after red line. So the West knew that the war is going to happen. Russia will eventually be forced to take military action. And the Minsk Accords were a ploy to buy time, buy a few years, to delay the Russian military action so that they can bolster Ukraine's military capabilities. And Mr. Putin got played by the Americans, by the West. Mr. Putin got played. He was too trusting. And it's true. Ideally, he should have launched the special military operation in 2014 itself, when it took Crimea. Now, he was on a phone call with Mr. Trump, and he was perhaps under the assumption that Mr. Trump is a gentleman, and we are actually conducting negotiation on the phone. And when I am talking to my colleague in the United States, as gentlemen, we will not do anything against each other while the diplomatic negotiations are happening. But while this is happening, the Americans pass apparently information that Mr. Putin is in so and so location to the Ukrainians, and they try to assassinate Mr. Putin. Yeah, so Mr. Putin seems to be not a very trusting person, but yeah, he's kind of trusted the West on a few occasions, and the West has exploited that. I suppose there's no more trust left anymore. So let's see how Russia responds to the attempted assassination of Mr. Putin. I'm sure there's going to be a response, and it's going to be military. We'll see.